How you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for the 28th of July. How are ya? Are you good? Are you happening? Are you? I mean, seriously, come on. Come on, what are you doing? All right. So, what? Now, I have to ask because, I need to know. How many of you have literally, how many of you have literally wanted to throw something at the TV when, Nancy Pelosi and all these other morons are up there? I'm serious. I mean, because when you listen to them talk, holy crap, it's just, oh my God, what a fuster cluck of ignorance right there. But anyway. Yeah, Schumer, all of them. Just, do you want to throw stuff at the TV? Because that's, holy crap. But anyway, I've been seeing, we don't have cable, we have internet, so we use Hulu and Netflix to watch, whatever shows we want to watch, because we just, you got to get away from all this stuff, right? So we don't have cable, we don't have local news, we don't have any of that. But I watch YouTube videos and all, and clips from that, and I'm just like, oh man. Oh man. So how much stuff have you thrown at the TV when you hear these people talk? It's just mind-boggling. It really is. It's mind-boggling as to how these people even got out of college. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they went, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I have no idea. Terror in Germany. Religion of peace strikes again. Latest Islamic attack took place at a supermarket in Hamburg, Germany. Yeah. There's a video. It's a video, so I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast for all of you to take a look at. I'm going to say this. I'm going to put this out here. I'm just going to lay it out here. I don't, really, I know, I know I'm going to get crap for this, but we need to get rid of all Muslim, radical, jihadist, connected mosques here in the United States. We just need to get rid of them all. And this is one of the reasons why Germany is pretty much, they're lenient on a lot of their, a lot of the people having different religions. They're really lenient. If you go look at their, policies as far as freedom of religion is concerned, they're really lenient, but but this has just gone way too far. This has gone just way overboard. All right. So anyway, also in the headlines today, Rand Paul says obscene Obamacare premiums will continue to skyrocket. Senator blames, quote, compliant big government Republicans, unquote, for healthcare fail. And that's right. Told you, the Republican fascists don't want to give up any control to the American people. Same thing with the Democratic Socialists. They don't want to give up control to the American people. Once that is established, that the American people are in control, you won't have centralized government. Okay? General Smedley Butler said the same thing. It's like, about war. He said war is a racket. And I'll dovetail that into government is the proprietor of the store, and they want to give all this stuff away for free and charge, and in certain sections charge way too much than what it's worth for anybody else other than their people in their little groups. If you're not inside the little group that they're in, you're getting raked over the coals. Steve Watson, Infowars.com, 28th of July. Excuse me, my nose just keeps driving me up a freaking wall, man. I woke up today and I was all plugged. 28th July 2017, Steve Watson, Infowars.com, weighing in on GOP's failure to repeal Obamacare. Rand Paul, who has been outspoken in his support for replacing the health care legislation, has warned that insurance premiums will continue to skyrocket. Writing for Rare, Paul warned, quote, "What will happen now that the Obamacare repeal has failed? The same thing that has always happened. Premiums will skyrocket. Insurers will exit, leaving monopolies or vacuums, and Americans will have less choice," unquote. The healthcare industry, built upon the principles and philosophies of Big Pharma, is nothing but a cash cow to the federal government. Because when you look at everything, that's on American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook, when you look at everything, when you examine everything, I'm talking, from, the food cards, the EBTs, the SNAPs, the, Lone Stars, whatever, and you look at all of that, and you look at the health care, and you look at Medicaid and Medicare and all that, you look at it all, you're going to find that somebody's turning a profit somewhere, and it's not you and I, and it's not the insurers, and it's not the exchanges that have been dropping like flies all over the country because of Obamacare. It's not those, right? Somebody behind the scenes is making a buttload of money off of the failure of the healthcare system in terms of over-regulate it and make it so you make the premiums so high that nobody can pay for them. So then they are opted. The only option they would have is to go government and get that. Somebody's making a boatload of money. You see what I'm saying? So it's a racket. It's a huge, massive racket. Centralized government, centralized healthcare, centralized military, centralized whatever, anything that's centralized in a group with a group of people is going to be profitable for that group of people because they're going to overcharge and overregulate everybody outside of that group. Therefore, they make the money. There's no other way. There's no other way around it. That's how it is. There's no way. You cannot have it any other way. You have a centralized group of people making billions, if not trillions of dollars on the backs of the poor people and the middle class and the lower and upper middle class. Hell, they're making billions of dollars off the lower upper class in their own group. So, the ones that are just on the fringes of their group trying to make a buck to get inside the group. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a freaking racket. We need to get rid of it all. We need to get government out of healthcare, out of education, out of everything. We need to get government, period, out. Just out of everything. What did we have before 1913? Before the Internal Revenue Act and the Federal Reserve Act was signed by President Woodrow Wilson. What did we have before that? We had structures. We had certain things that states could do within the confines of their state. But then we also had the underlying pressure of the elites in that time because of the Act of 1871, which was signed into law by President Ulysses S. Grant, which took all of those elites. Basically, they gave the United States back to the Brits at that point. And now we have this. We're mired in corruption in Washington, D.C. because of centralized groupings of people inside Washington, D.C. They're all corrupt. They're all trying to steal money from one another. They're all trying to make deals to steal money from one another. I mean, that kind of thing. It's all corrupt. It's all basic bullcrap, and we need to get rid of it. Repeal the Act of 1871, and you'll cut the head off of the snake. And there you go. That's it. Here's something, the latest from David Knight at Infowars.com. Government is not God. Trump needs to tell Bundy judge. Bundy family being held as political prisoners of the federal government. They're all being held as political prisoners. Nobody should be in there. Pete Santilli should be out. doing his thing and reporting on what's going on, not in jail because of the government decided, he shouldn't have free speech. He shouldn't have freedom of press. No, we'll throw his ass in jail. Well, no, they all need to be gone. They all need to be out. Just out. The whole system is corrupt. The whole judicial system is corrupt. President Trump needs to go and tell Judge Navarro, you are fired. And he needs to bring the AG with him, regardless of whether or not he likes Jeff Sessions. He needs to bring him with him and look at Judge Navarro in this case and say, you're fired. Right now, my attorney general is going to get these people out of jail. I'm pardoning each and every single one of them. That's what he needs to do. And he can do it. Legally, he can do that. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Show me the law that says that he cannot do that. Trump tweeted, government is not God, and he was right to point out the founding principles of our country in the Declaration of Independence. We have God-given rights, not government-granted privileges. But those principles need to be put into practice in the trials of political prisoners who were exercising their right to peaceful assembly, to redress grievances, and to legally keep and bear arms. The judge, however, is acting like God, forbidding any discussion of the actions of the BLM and keeping the jury in the dark. There you go. Fire the judge right now. Right now, I'm calling everybody in Nevada. I'm calling everybody in the United States of America who is even related to the people in this bogus trial to go to Nevada right now and demand that Governor Brian Sandoval fire that judge. Do it now, today, the 28th of July, 2017. She needs to be taken off the bench, period. She cannot recuse herself because she won't. She needs to be handled legally and be taken off the bench now. Do it now, right now. Demand it. Go to Nevada, go to Pahrump, go to wherever this trial is being held in Clark County, and you tell that judge, you leave now. Do it. I'm calling on everybody to stand up for the freedom of press, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, looking at this whole bogus trial, this joke of a judge, and demand that she be fired from her position. Not just taken off the bench and continue in law. No. Fired. Okay? I'm calling on all of you to do that. Call the courthouse where this trial is being held. Inundate their switchboards with your calls. Talk to any legal counsel that is in this trial. And you tell them, demand that she be taken off the bench. If she is not taken off the bench within 2 weeks right now, I can, because I know enough law to know this, and I can see the trends, and I can follow all of this, I can tell you right now, if she is not taken off the bench within the next 48 to 72 hours or within the next week, these political prisoners are going to be in jail for the rest of their lives. And they have families and they have jobs to do, and especially the Bundys. The reason why the Bundys are in jail is because Harry Reid wanted to sell their land to a Chinese company. That's you go look at this whole thing from beginning to end, from 2014 when all this started to now. Harry Reid has his hand in this in every step of the way. And I bet you a penny right now that that judge in this trial was handpicked by Harry Reid. If not, he knows who handpicked her. You need to demand that this judge be taken off the bench today. The 28th of July, 2017. Go make it happen, patriots. Go make it happen, America. Go make it happen. If I was there, I'd be out in front of that courthouse with a bullhorn demanding that she be taken off the bench. Grab a bullhorn, grab signs, go to that courtroom, go inside the courtroom. You are not They cannot stop you. Your legal protected rights under the Constitution with your protected rights under the Constitution, you are allowed in that courtroom. You need to just rush that building and tell them to take this judge off of this case now. If that's a coup against the judicial system, which is corrupt from the core, the patriots know this, the people know this, and they see the travesty of justice that is happening right there in that courtroom. We have God-given rights, not government-granted privileges. Period. That's what David Knight says of Infowars.com, and he is absolutely 100% right. I'm not, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put this out here. Use common sense. Okay? Use common sense. Do not go in that courtroom with anything other than your voice. Okay? Just saying. Just putting it out there. I already said that about Obamacare. Oh, here it is. Here's this. And this has happened this past week too. Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com, 28th of July, 2017. Pastor of a church confirms plot to quote unquote take out Trump is quote unquote physical. Rodney Howard Brown warns of assassination attempt. Pastor Rodney Howard Brown, who says he was told by a senior Republican congressman of a plot to take out President Trump, has confirmed that the intention is to physically remove Trump from office. As we reported Monday, as Paul Joseph Watson and InfoWars reported Monday, Howard Brown said he was told by the lawmaker, someone in Congress, somebody up there in Washington, D.C., quote, there is a plot on Capitol Hill to take the president out. I said, you mean by, this is what this lawmaker was saying. There is a plot on Capitol Hill to take the president out. I said he will be removed suddenly from office before adding, you can read between the lines, unquote. The pastor subsequently revealed that he had received a visit from the Secret Service as a result of his remarks, with agents keen to find out the name of the congressman who passed on the warning. Quote, so right after I was on with Alex Jones, this is the pastor talking, they came into my office and they tried to get information from me concerning who the congressman was, unquote, Howard Brown told InfoWars. Quote, as I said, look, I'll tell you what he said, but I cannot give you this information, unquote. There you go. Now, is this a setup? Is this a media setup for somebody to take the fall? I don't know. I have no clue. But there it is on American Liberty Radio Podcast. I'll tell you specifically here. Let me go to my Facebook page for a minute. Let me click over there, and I posted this. And frankly, I honestly don't really give a crap what these anti-Trumpers and Antifa people care. I don't care. They're freaking pointless. They're morons. They're idiots. They have absolutely no idea what the hell they're doing. They're dumber than dirt, and that's just the way it is. I said on my personal Facebook page, Wayne S. Pierce, you can go look at this too as well. If you don't like President Trump, you're not alone. There are a lot of people that don't like him. But why? From my perspective, it's because he's not opening the borders, not giving away free shit, attempting to make the economy stronger, and telling our allies to get off their asses and protect their countries, and telling our enemies, don't mess with us. So, tell me again why you hate President Trump. That's just the way it is, folks. I'm not holding back. I'm not. I'm not going to hold back anymore. People are freaking idiots. And if they can't see it and if they can't understand what the hell's going on, they're not opening their eyes to the real issues of what's happening. And if all they care about is sitting in their home, kicking off their shoes and watching ESPN and having a beer, they're the dumbest people on the face of the planet. If they don't want to, as Brian Lang over at LiveTruthRadio.com says, get up, stand up, speak out and get involved. Stand up, speak out, and get involved. And if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to do that, yeah, I think a tree is a lot smarter than you are. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. I don't care who argues with me because your arguments are moot next to the truth and the facts. So, bye-bye. There's the door. Have a nice day. Now, a lot of people might think, well, geez, you got a chip on your shoulder. You're trying to do this. No, I'm just telling the truth. I'm giving you the facts. There you go. And here's another thing. This is from Reuters, 28th of July, 2017. Today, Trump visits New York to address MS-13 gang violence. President Donald Trump in travel on Friday to a New York community shocked by a recent spat of graphic gang murders to highlight his efforts to stop illegal immigration and boost deportation. Trump's trip to Long Island gives the president an opportunity to showcase some progress on his agenda, even as other legislative efforts flounder, and some respite from the chaos of a nasty power struggle among his senior staff that blew up on Thursday. On Friday, Trump will highlight his administration's push to deport members of the Mara Trucha gang, I don't know, whatever freaking gang, the MS-13 gang, the existence of which is his White House blames on lax enforcement of illegal immigration from Central America. This is why I say, close the freaking border now. And if you don't have the wall up there, they're constructing the wall now. If you go down there and look at it in some of the places that are open for miles, obviously illegal immigration is down 63%, because of Trump, but that's not enough. You see the wall being built. I'm gonna put a call out, as I did for the political prisoners in Nevada. So I'm going to put a call out again now, right now, to all of you in America, to all you patriots, to all you militias, to all you people who want America safe and secure. Hit the borders. You know what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do because I'm not your general. I'm not your, commander. I'm just saying you need to protect the borders. Go do what you have to do to protect America from illegal aliens, illegal immigrants, whatever you want to call them, from the gangs, from the drug cartels. Yes, it's a risk, but guess what? This is your home, the United States of America, and you better damn well protect it. And I thank you for that. Just want to put that out there, too. This is on... I'm going to put this on American Liberty Radio podcast as well. All these gangs need to be rounded up. By the way, did you know that you and I, as citizens of the United States of America, can engage in citizens arrest? Got to go to the police department, file all that paperwork, but that's okay. When you and within 24 to 48 hours, they'll be back out on the street anyway. So what's the point, right? Well, at least you get these people off the streets for about 48 hours. I'm just putting it out there. You guys can do whatever you need to do. Japan warns ships, planes may have been hit by intercontinental ballistic missile launched by North Korea. Spokesman for Pentagon said they believe it was a ballistic missile that was launched. This is on Infowars.com, by the way. You can go there and check that out if you want. Denmark-born Muslims more angry, score higher on violence predictors than immigrants. Muslims born in Europe who have never lived outside of the continent become so angry at the treatment of Muslims abroad that they consider carrying out acts of violence. That's why, well, let's just put it this way. Something has to be done. You guys know what to do, okay? I'm just saying. I'll put that one up on American Liberty Radio podcast. I'm just saying, you guys know what to do. I give you my perspective on what I would do, but you guys can figure it out on your own and make your own decisions based upon what is there. Okay, so, you handle it the way you handle it. And here's another traitor that needs to go to jail. John McCain casts legacy vote against American people, votes to continue Obamacare. This should not come as a surprise. I'm the last refuge. Is that the last refuge? The conservative treehouse.com. That is from that. It's on Infowars.com, but you can just click on the link and go from there. But it's going to be on American Liberty Radio podcast. I'm giving you the links. I'm giving you all of the information for you to check out, to assess, to draw your own conclusions about, because I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to give you the truth and the facts without all the bullshit. Pardon my language, but that's exactly what I'm doing. So, there you go. Quote, never should have trusted a reporter, unquote. Scaramucci responds to the New Yorker piece. Quote, I made a mistake in trusting in a reporter. It won't happen again, unquote. Yeah, there you go. That's on Infowars.com. Let me just put that up there because that's a big deal right now. Scaramucci? Oh, yeah, that's a huge deal right now. So I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast for you. So I don't have to get into the articles all that much because I'm putting them up there for you guys to check out, okay? That's from the Daily Caller, by the way, but it's on Infowars.com. Now, yeah. I'm just reading all of these headlines really quick, and I'm just baffled by the ignorance of some of these people that are being reported on in these articles. Muslim leader says, quote, Australian women need us to fertilize them, unquote. Quote, white race will be extinct in 40 years, unquote. Yeah, this is from Chris Menahan over at informationliberation.com. It's on Infowars.com. It's from also the Daily Mail, so check that out. The Muslim president of the Halal Certification Authority in Australia reacted to news of allegedly falling sperm counts in white males with glee, saying, quote, the white race will be extinct in 40 years, and Australia women need Muslims to fertilize them. That's a quote, to fertilize them. So I'm putting that on American Liberty Radio podcast for all you to check out. All these articles about certain individuals just tells me that these certain individuals are dumber than, feces that I drop in the toilet and flush. Okay? I'm just telling you, I'm just putting it out there. I cannot and will not put up with people's ignorance anymore. I'm not going to do it. It's not my place to condone somebody else's ignorance. It's not. I'm not the smartest man in the world either. I'm not here touting my intelligence and saying I'm the smart. No, I'm not, I'm not even close to being Rush Limbaugh. Thank you. No, but he's not the smartest man in the world either, and he'll admit it. But you cannot get away from the fact that people are completely and utterly stupid. Okay, that's just the way it is. I'll be back in 2 minutes. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Don't go away. I'll be right back right after this. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. Check out Late Night in the Midlands with your host Michael Vera at LateNightInTheMidlands.com, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to LateNightInTheMidlands.com. The world as we know it has been turned upside down. The leaders are faced with possible annihilation from their enemies. The United States is at the brink of a total collapse. This is the reality we live in. What can be done? The truth, the facts. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Hey folks, welcome back. This is American Liberty Radio Network, American Liberty Radio on Spreaker.com and also AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. You can also find us on iTunes and Google Play Music or Google, whatever it is, it's over there. American Liberty Radio Weebly.com, American Liberty Radio on Spreaker, on iTunes, on Google Play Music, Google Music, whatever the hell that is over there. You can find us a lot of places, actually. Just look up American Liberty Radio Network in startpage.com. Let me do that right now. Okay, let me just see what startpage.com does. And let me hold on. I have to find it now. So how are you folks? How you guys doing? Let me know. American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. So American Liberty Radio Network, and and I just hit enter, so here it is. There's a whole lot of stuff here, okay? I'm not even on the list. I'm not even on the front page. Let's go to page 2 and see where I am. If I'm even on there, I don't know. Not even close to being in one of the things. So my SEO is a little off, so I gotta go change that. But just know that I'm at AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Yeah. It's easy to find, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. And I'm on iTunes and I'm on Google Music and all of that. So, yeah. So, check it out. All right? It's pretty cool, okay? I'm just having a really, really good time. I woke up today, kind of plugged up, a little sinus thing going on there, But other than that, I put my feet on the floor, I stood up, and I'm grateful to live. I'm grateful to be alive in the world today. I just start each day as new. It's just like, yeah, let's do this, Everything seems so, I don't know, there's so many words that I can use, but I'll just say, I'm grateful to be alive, okay? And let me go back to my people hating Trump. Emil Atkin over at epochtimes.com, theepochtimes.com. Nearly all states see increase in jobs. Healthcare, local government, restaurants, and professional and business services sectors fueled the jobs growth in June. A majority of the United States, I like this, a majority of U.S. states, there we go, experienced job growth in June in line with positive employment trends at the national level. Out of 50 states, 33 recorded significant increases in non-farm jobs in the last year, according to recent data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The unemployment rate continued to fall across the country as well. In June, the unemployment rate was 4.4% compared to 4.9% for the same period last year. Quote, in most states, we are seeing a decrease in unemployment rates and increase in the number of jobs, unquote, said Janelle Jones, an economic analyst at the Economic Policy Institute. And it says read more right after that. So I'm putting this on American Liberty Radio podcast for you to, obviously, read more. So there you go. In the first segment, if you had joined me there, I put a call out to both people, to all of America, to go to Nevada, to all the patriots in Nevada, to go to that courthouse and to demand that that judge in that trial of our political prisoners be fired. Okay. I also called on people, the militia specifically, to do what you know how to do at the borders. Go down to the borders, close them, period. Close them. What part of close don't you understand? So those are the two things I said in the first segment. But now I want to go on to get into some of these articles that I'm posting. And, something interesting came across my screen the other day, or actually yesterday, from Bloomberg.com. Bloomberg. Jeff Bezos, Amazon.com. Jeff Bezos surpasses Bill Gates as world's richest person. Founder's net worth increases $1.1 billion in intraday trading. A surge in Amazon.com Incorporated shares Thursday morning in advance of the online retailer's earnings report was propelled, or has propelled, founder Jeff Bezos past Bill Gates as the world's richest person. Shares of the online retailer rose 1.3% to $1,065.92. That's $1,065.92 at 10:10 a.m. in New York, giving Bezos a net worth of $90.9 billion versus $90.7 billion for Gates. If that holds through 4 p.m. close, Bezos, 53, will leapfrog Gates, the Microsoft Corporation co-founder, on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Gates, 61, has held the top spot since May of 2013. Investors and analysts, in addition to watching Amazon's progress and taking market share in categories such as apparel and groceries, will be scrutinizing how many new subscriptions the retailer sold for its $99 a year Amazon Prime service, which offers delivery discounts and video and music streaming. Prime shoppers spend more than customers who don't have membership. Yeah, I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcast. Now, I remember when Amazon.com came out back in the day. I remember that. Yeah. Kind of like a lot of them came out in the day. I can't remember all of them, but there was, all sorts of these companies like Amazon back, when Amazon came out. And they're all gone. Most of them are gone. They're probably still sticking around into the corners of the internet, but most of them don't have the popularity nor the foundation as Amazon.com does. Okay. Do I shop Amazon? Of course I do. Have I contributed to his $90.9 billion, what is that, value? Yeah. Because I'll tell you why. When you go, and I am a proponent of shopping local. But let me tell you the downsides of that. Oh, it's a positive thing. Don't get me wrong. There's more positive than negative. But let me give you the downside of shopping local. Extremely high prices. I mean, you go to places like World Market, you go to places like, like that, but, you get really good product for reasonable price. But when you shop local in those areas, you're going to find some of the prices are equivalent, maybe a little more, a little less. But when you look at the overall average, shopping local can be a little pricey. And that's why people are opting to go with places like Amazon and, other places like that. I myself personally, haven't promoted it a whole lot, but I have t-shirts for sale. I have all of that, but I'll start doing that more because I got to fund this operation somehow. Okay. And you guys, contributing in ways that you can through advertising or through donations, you guys rock. I mean, to be totally honest with you, I haven't received any donations or advertising dollars at all. That's why I got to sell t-shirts and cups and all this other stuff to try to keep this operation funded. Okay, so I'm being totally honest and transparent with you. This is what's happening. So, and my advertising rates are not out. I'm not out to break your advertising budget. Okay, so if you want to advertise on the network, go ahead. You're going to reach you're going to reach the whole world, number one. But currently, I've got like 16,000, followers on my Spreaker channel. So, and more because I'm on iTunes and because I'm on Google Music and because, oh yeah. You're going to reach a whole lot of people. I just saw statistics this morning where my channel, my network is being heard in La Paz, Bolivia. So you're going to reach a worldwide market. Okay. So consider advertising on American Liberty Radio Network. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you don't want to do that, on the sponsors page at AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com, there's a couple of donate buttons there. You can just drop $1 into Kitty to help me keep the lights on around here. So there you go. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. All the information is right there, and you got 2 donate buttons. So there you go. And August is coming up, so yeah. So I got bills to pay around here. So there you go. If you like what I do, please consider. But if you're not able to, just like and share. And yeah, there you go. I'm good with that. So there you go. But I would, I do have to keep the lights on around here. Talking about unemployment falling, the rates falling of unemployment. Here's a good sign for let's see here. Wall Street Journal and Madison.com is reporting Foxconn to build a $10 billion plant in Wisconsin, employing 13,000 people. Staff is planned to eventually grow by 10,000. And this was over at Madison.com. Also, Wall Street Journal reported on this as well. In what's being called the largest economic development project in state history, Taiwanese electronics giant Foxconn plans to build a $10 billion plant in Wisconsin that will create liquid crystal display panels and employ as many as 13,000 people, according to the White House and Governor Scott Walker. Can't talk, not enough coffee. The planned Wisconsin plant is expected to open in 2020 and will be part of a 20 million square foot campus on at least 1,000 acres, a project Walker's administration has dubbed Wisconn Valley. Like in California, you got Silicon Valley, you got Wisconn Valley now. The plant could be the first of several facilities the company wants to build in the United States, a senior White House official told reporters on Wednesday, and will start with 3,000 employees. The staff is planned to eventually grow by 10,000, and that's over a period of time, not just once. Not just one time, 10,000 people, but it's going to be over a period of time. So that's going, it says read more. So yeah, go ahead, read more. It's on American Liberty Radio podcast. And yeah, go check that out. Foxconn, that name sound familiar? Yeah, it's in China. Apple phones. Yeah, they have fence on top of the buildings so that people won't jump off and commit suicide. Yeah, probably same company. Who knows? I have no clue. So there you go. Yeah. So here, people hate Trump. Why? Because you're not getting free stuff from him? Record U.S. oil exports are poised for even more growth. The U.S. has a growing role in satisfying demand for motor fuel in countries such as Mexico and Brazil. Reuters is reporting this as of yesterday, the 27th of July, 2017. U.S. refineries are producing more fuel than ever as they seek to meet rising demand from overseas rather than to drivers on nearby roads. Last year, the U.S. became the world's top net exporter of fuel, an outgrowth of booming domestic production since the shale oil revolution started in 2010. That's a fundamental shift from the traditional U.S. role in global markets as a top importer and consumer. Net exports are on track to hit another record in 2017, making foreign fuel markets increasingly important for the future growth prospects and profit margins of U.S. refiners. Shale oil producers have provided refiners with abundant and cheap domestic crude supplies, giving them the raw material they need to produce internationally competitive fuel. Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You guys, it says read more. You guys check it out. Let me know, American Liberty Radio Podcast. Go drop your comments there if you'd like. American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. So, yeah, there you go. It's amazing to me that people look at the United States of America and say, well, why don't we just drill for oil here in the United States? Well, we are. But the unfortunate part is that we're selling it to overseas because of the demand for fuel overseas is like really, really high. But Saudi Arabia is not doing anything about it. Neither is Russia. Neither is, I forgot the other country up there as well. But yeah. Oh, Ukraine. Russia has a pipeline going through Ukraine. So that's why they're pissed off that we're in Ukraine. So I don't know. But why don't we just drill here? I'll tell you why. Because it would, the numbers I saw and my brain is saying that it would cost too much to drill for oil here. That's why you don't get gold mining here, gold and silver mining in the United States as it was, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, because of the fact that it costs too much to dig that gold and silver out of the ground. It's the same thing with alternative fuel. You got to grow all this corn and you process all that corn in a huge, way of doing that to process it, but it's only going to make a very little amount. Yeah, that's where the costs are. It costs too much to take rigs and all sorts of things to go in and go gold mining like they used to do because it costs too much to get very little. And I know this because here in Billings, Montana, every summer we go up to, or in May or something, we go up to what's called Zortman. And then there's another place up there where they go gold mining, and people with pans and everything, and they got the rigs and they got the sluice boxes and the whole schmear. They do this. But they get very little out, very little gold out of it. And the people that, run that whole shindig up there, they control everything. So obviously if you get anything big, it's not yours. It's, so it's, and that's the unfortunate part. But the overall point of it is no matter what you do in the United States of America, it's going to cost a great deal of money to produce very little. I mean, you can look at this at like I said, the alternative fuels. You can look at this with the refineries. You can look at, at all of this because here, from what I gathered, from what I gathered. The refineries are producing and refining this crude oil into the fuel that you put into your car at a really, really cheap rate. That's why they're selling it overseas, because it would flood the market here and our gas prices would, considerably drop below $2 a gallon. And that's not helpful for the oil companies refining this fuel. So they sell it overseas to make their money, because they know that the more that they do it over there, our prices will stay on average about $2.40, $2.50 a gallon. And that's what they want. If it goes higher, like in California, I lived in California, and it was like, I remember paying $4.35 a gallon for gas. I remember that, or it's $4.25, something. And I saw it go up and up and up, right? And this is like for a few months, but it always happens around vacation time. People take vacations, gas prices go up. They come back in the wintertime, gas prices go down, except for propane and all of that to heat your home. You see how that works? Basically, my point is, it would cost too much for us to do it here and to sell it here. It would cost us, going to the pumps, too much money, because it's produced here for this country. Now, keep the prices down, you got to sell it overseas, and it's a whole marketing thing, it's a whole logistics thing, it's a whole economic thing. I'm not an economic expert, so everything that I just said is my opinion from my perspective, from the things that I've seen, and I'm putting two and two together. Okay, so you guys have all the figures and the numbers, and you crunch them on a daily basis probably, so why don't you send that information over to me and send the link over of places that you know that can help me understand what's going on, because I don't know it all, So send that over to American Liberty Radio at USA.com, American Liberty Radio at USA.com, or go to American Liberty Radio Podcast and post it there. Post all your information there as well. But yeah, so it would cost too much if we were to pull all the oil out and get very little, and it would cost us more, at the pump, because they would have to compensate for their expenses or the expenditure of, pulling this out of the ground, you know what I'm saying, and refining it. So it would cost us more. By sending it overseas, that our price at the pump goes down. I don't know how that works or why, but that's the way I see it. So, anyway, I got one more article to share with you. Okay, The Hill, the leftist rag mag in Washington D.C. TheHill.com. Trump's China sanctions spell trouble for global businesses. Trump administration appears to be further expanding prohibitions by specifically targeting Chinese firms. If you've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this since he was inaugurated. If you go to Walmart, you go to Target, you go to places like that, did you know that some of the stuff that you used to see is no longer there, and you've got these new products that we just went to, Walmart yesterday, and we were getting some food, right? And we looked in the frozen section, and we're going, well, that's new. We don't know this brand. Where did this brand come from? We have no idea. We have no idea. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm asking you. Have you seen this in your local stores or Targets or Walmarts, wherever you're at? Have you seen this happen? Because now things are changing a little. Did you know this? Or does the store just every once in a while throw some new brands in there that come out? I don't know. I mean, you tell me. American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. U.S. sanctions on North Korea have been in effect for decades, and as a result, most American business leaders today have had to pay little or no attention to their impact or implications. In 2008, the North Korea sanctions program intensified and grew. Now, the Trump administration appears to be further expanding prohibitions by specifically targeting Chinese firms. These conditions, called, quote, secondary sanctions, unquote, mean U.S. businesses could experience the economic effects of our strained relationship with North Korea for the first time. My question is why are we dealing with North Korea? We don't need to be dealing with we don't even need to be dealing with China. Thank you, Henry Kissinger, who was Secretary of State under President Nixon back in the 70s. We don't need to be dealing with these people. We don't need to be trading with these people. We don't need to have treaties with these people. We don't need any of that, okay? Because they're communist countries. China is feeding North Korea, okay? I'm just saying. And China's damn near broke. Did you know that? That's why they're trying to do everything they can to increase their own productivity in their own country, but they can't because all the fuel and crap that they're doing comes from imports into their country. So they're caught between a rock and a hard place right now economically. Same thing with North Korea. North Korea with Kim Jong-un, that big fat bastard over there, he's, screwing up the country. And so he's, trusting China to bail him out. And guess what? It's not happening. China's going, hey, dude, we're not helping anymore. So, they're struggling. The current North Korea sanction program blocks property interests and restricts the export and import of most goods, services, and technology to and from North Korea, both directly and indirectly. This includes items like military supplies and luxury goods, as well as gold, rare earth metals, coal, and iron. There are also North Korean and third-party entities that have been placed on restricted parties list. This means that Americans are not allowed to do business with parties listed. Additionally, the U.S. Treasury Department has issued guidance advising individuals to act with caution when considering a transaction with a non-blocked entity when one or more blocked persons has ownership or control of the entity. In other words, third party, look at them, research them, vet them, see if they're good, that kind of thing. Common sense, folks. It says read more. I'll put this up on American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. It's one of those things, folks. You either, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The enemy of my enemy is my friend? What? No, you don't. The enemy is the enemy. Shut the hell up. Don't deal with them. Don't even trust China to do anything against North Korea. They're not going to. Russia is talking with China, and Russia and China, have their own currency. They work with their own currency. They have their own thing, and I think they dump the the reserve currency of the United States of America for the whole world. The reserve currency for the whole world is the American dollar, or was in some parts. I think China just dumped it, and so did Russia. But, why are we dealing with these countries? Why are we dealing with these countries? We should not deal with these countries at all. These countries we should not deal with them at all, ever. They're our enemies. Why the hell are we dealing with them? The only thing we need to do is keep China and Russia off our backs, and we need to negotiate with them and come up with some treaties that are going to work for all parties involved, not just one, okay? We need to keep, nuclear weapons out of the third-party hands of third-world countries, you know what I'm saying? So this is what we need to do, but we're not doing it because somebody somewhere is making a buttload of money. So, it certainly isn't the United States of America, I can tell you that much. Folks, hey, I'm just here. I'm giving you the truth. I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you my opinions. I'm showing you the links. I'm putting them up on American Liberty Radio Podcast. I'm putting them up there. You guys go check them out. And I'm going to go away. I'm going to go away now because, hey, it's Friday, the 28th of July, 2017. Folks, you guys rock. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. Check it out. Drop $1 in the kitty to help me keep the lights on around here. You guys rock, man. Come on back, man. I may have another one tomorrow. I don't know. It's the weekend. I have no clue. At least come join me on Monday. Yes, thank you. So, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.